Hello. In this video, we will be working with a concept of analogous colors. Additionally, we're working with line in the form of loops. For this project, you will need a permanent marker. I recommend a Sharpie fine point. Additionally, you're going to need a color medium. You can be using something like a Twistable crayon. That's what this paper was completed with. Or your conventional crayons. If you are working with conventional crayons, I do recommend something to sharpen the crayons so you can get into the tighter spaces. Another option is colored pencils. Colored pencils, of course, can get into those tiny spaces. However, depending on your colored pencil box, you may be limited on your color selection. Additionally, what's going to be helpful for this project is a color wheel. Color wheel will be helpful in selecting your analogous color scheme. Additionally, you will need a white piece of drawing paper. Now, depending on how big you would like your composition, you could go with a larger piece of paper. But for this video, I will be working with a smaller piece of paper in the interest of time. To begin this composition, I'm going to place a few dots on my paper. Spacing the dots out. Since this paper is smaller, I'm only doing 4. On my larger composition, I did 5. You do not want the dots close together. You would like to spread them out. If those had an even larger composition, I would have done even more. I'm now going to go ahead and start placing my loops on each dot. These loops are about a fingerprint size. My next set of loops and all subsequent other loops are going to be about a finger space away from the previous loop. You can measure at the apex of the loop. It is here. I notice that this loop is getting pretty close to the edge of the paper. I'm now going to start cropping some of my loops. Additionally, now with this next set of loops right here, I'm going to start encountering my other previous loops. I do not want to let my lines crisscross, so at this point I'm going to let some of my lines just hit, and some set of loops are going to be on top, some set of loops are going to be below. There are some loops that I am no longer able to add to in layers. All right, I am sufficiently happy with the layers of loops I have. I'm now ready to move on to the next portion of my composition. When employing your analogous color scheme, you're going to be working with colors that are next to each other on the color wheel, usually about 3 to 4 colors. In my original composition that I demonstrated, I used shades of green. For this composition that I'm going to be working with, I'm going to be working with red violet, violet, and blue violet. I'm always going to be working light to dark, so therefore I'm going to start with my lightest color, but I'm going to be placing my color in different positions of my loops. One I may start in the middle, one I may start 2 or 3 rows out. Alright, I am now done with my red violet for the time being. I am now ready to move on to my next color. My next color in my composition is going to be violet. I started with red violet, now I am going to violet. Now, since I'm always working lightest to darkest, some layers I might be able to go on both sides of my red violet. Alright, I have completed my first set of violet. I am now ready to move on to my next color. The next color in my analogous color scheme is blue violet. I'm going to go ahead and employ it. And again, I can still go on both sides of wherever violet I had. I have done all three colors in my analogous color scheme. Now I'm going to continue the rest of the way with my composition, continuing always going lightest to darkest. And there you have it, a composition that is demonstrating analogous colors. This artwork can be an artwork all on its own or serve as a background for another arts piece. Thank you for watching.